Welcome back. We did see some mild profit booking yesterday. The Nifty snapped its winning streak, 8-day winning streak, but we still managed to defend the 25,000 psychological level on the Nifty. There were lots of individual big movers on the mid-cap end. So let's find out what the delivery stats looked like yesterday. Hormaz is now joining in with the numbers. Hormaz.
Good morning, Rima. And of course, the theme of yesterday's session, of course, were railway stocks. We spoke about it during closing as well. RailTel, RVNL, IRCON, all of them doing very well. But RailTel stands out simply because the volumes yesterday were the highest in 3 months. And the last 5 sessions is when the stock has been reporting order wins on a consistent basis, after which we have seen some increased trading activity. And yesterday's session saw 2 crore shares change hands. 20-day average is just around 20 lakh shares. The day before as well, last Friday's session saw over 50 lakh shares being traded, and yesterday's trade saw over 21 lakh shares marked for delivery. So the 20-day average was also equivalent to yesterday's delivery volumes, and compared to that 20-day average of 3.8 lakh shares, the stock after yesterday's move has broken above its 100-day moving average of 380, but still remains almost 35% below its 52-week high. Northern Arc was another mover, of course, on the back of that positive brokerage note that came in from DAM Capital. It was the biggest single day gain since June. Volumes were the highest in 2 months. Close to 50 lakh shares change hands, 20-day average of around 6.5 lakh, and almost 19 lakh shares marked for delivery compared to a 20-day average of close to 3.5 lakh. But courtesy of that 8% move yesterday, the stock just about managed to close above its IPO price of 263. Now, Mobikwik was an interesting one yesterday because until 11:30, the stock was meandering in a range, and then it saw a very sharp spike post 11:30 close to noon, and it recovered more than 10% from its intraday lows to end with gains of over 6%, and the stock is now almost 100 rupees higher than its 52-week low, which was around 219, 220. And last Friday was the first instance in September where less than 1 crore shares were traded on a daily basis. And although yesterday's session was back to that trend, 1.3 crore shares were traded, but below the 20-day average of 1.5 crore, and delivery volumes as well, 24.5 lakh shares were higher than the 20-day average of around 17.5 lakh shares, but lower than the September average of around 32 lakh shares. Even on yesterday's session, the total volumes were lower than the September average of close to 3 crore shares. So that's Mobikwik. And lastly, KRBL, the news-driven underperformer yesterday, the biggest intraday fall in 3 years, over 1 crore shares changing hands, 20-day average of just 8 lakh shares, close to 30 lakh mark for delivery compared to a 20-day average of close to 3 lakh shares, is broken below its 50 DMA. The 100 DMA lies at 384. The low yesterday was 387, so at very crucial levels is KRBL.
Okay, all right. So plenty of movers and shakers, and we're going to keep them on the radar. Definitely KRBL. Thanks for those important levels to keep in mind, Hormaz.